All right, young scholars. This week we are working with layers within Photoshop. If you'll notice, you can download the Work with Layers PowerPoint. As always, additional YouTube links are provided. You're welcome to navigate through this PowerPoint as you so choose. The PowerPoint focuses on the layer features and also references how to crop an image. This week we'll be creating a layer from a file that we've already saved, and we're going to add additional layers to that layer that we've imported. So I touched on this last week and actually showed you how to do this. So we're going to create a new file. We'll go with our default Photoshop size. And you'll notice here it says import image. We'll do the same we did last week and import that image I had. It could be any image you so choose, but I have the baseball player. And you could go ahead and adjust the size, modify it as you so choose. You can make it smaller, bigger, wider, smaller, etc. But I'm going to make it just like I had it last week, the size of the pane itself. And then when you're finished, you go ahead and click Done. Then you select Convert to Layers. You want to make that new image you've now imported into a layer. So if you click off on the Channels tab and click back to Layers, you now have that image you've imported is now set up as a layer. You'll notice you have two layers here, that image you've imported and the completely white background. So this is just a random baseball player standing there doing nothing. So what I'm going to do is I found a picture of a baseball online. I copy that image and I paste it into Photoshop. But you'll notice it's way bigger than our other batter here. So we can select our subject and once it processes, we're able to move it, modify it, make changes as we so choose. So for our purposes, I'm going to deselect it, undo, 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 and even undo paste. Now again, I will paste. This time, I will use the Move tool to move our image over. As well as select from our properties. The transform area shows the width and height. Our width is 929. I'm going to change that to 300. When I click enter, it'll automatically adjust the height as well to match the changes to the width. Like so, I'll select the item to make it more likely the size that he might hit it. It may even be a little too big now, so I'll make 300 into 150 and make it more along the lines of the size that it might normally be. So you'll see here that new image is added as another layer. So if you wanted to modify that, you'd select and mask and select your image. Or from the bottom here, select subject. And this allows us to modify any of our pixels within that image. So you saw here when I copied it, there was a little bit of green on the outside of the baseball here. It might have been like a logo. However, when you shrink, you don't really see it. However, we could take the tool and brush a little of that green off so that now, even if you make it bigger, it should not be visible. This is commonly done with pictures that have, hair in front of the face that you might want to thin out a little so you could see an image better. But that is the basic concepts with regards to our filters. You can refine hair to modify, as mentioned, the specific pixels within your items. And if you looked on slide 28, it describes how you would crop an image. Say you only want the upper half of our image here. You would select the crop tool to select what specific item you want. So say we just want the baseball and the upper half of our player. We select that, we click done. Now it gets rid of his bottom half and it looks more like an action shot, if you will. He's got the baseball coming up against him. He's getting ready to swing. And that's all the intent to share for this week. Look forward to another week next week with more Photoshop.